It's R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. San Antonio FC has had their best season they have ever had here in San Antonio. We don't like that it's not going as publicized as it should be because these guys are winning and they're heading into the playoffs. Got a roadie coming up on Sunday, 4 o'clock. Let's talk to their leading goal scorer, Sam Adeniran, joining us here on R&R in the morning. Sam, man, good morning to you. Thanks for stopping by.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I can't complain, man. I mean, I'm not a all-world soccer player like yourself, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
You should. I mean, you're a pro. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a pro. That's a big deal. And me personally, I play soccer only up to high school. I was okay, but I've always been under the assumption, and I've had huge debates about this, that soccer players are the best athletes in the world. I feel like because of what they do, it correlates into more things. I feel like you could be a better NBA player than an NBA player could be a soccer player. You know what I mean? But a lot of people argue with me about it, Sam. It's, agree to disagree, but that's just where I'm at with it.
Hey. I agree. I agree with you.
All right, Sam, let's talk about your season, man. You're leading us in scoring on a team that kind of writes its, it is a defensive stalwart, stopping the ball and clean sheets up and down the row. Talk about the offensive strategy and why you have been so successful this year.
Man, I credit, first of all, the coaching staff for, what we do in practice, how they tell us to approach the games, our pressing actions, our mentality. We're the mentality monsters of the league. So I think that's what gets us our goals and what pushes us forward, and the reason why we've been so successful moving forward as an offensive team. So.
Sam, elaborate on the mentality monsters that you just said. You said y'all are the mentality monsters of the league. Elaborate on that for us and the listener.
Man, before I got here, halfway through the season, I didn't even really know what it was to be a mentality. As soon as I got here, I realized, how hard it is and how much heart you have to put into being a mentality monster. I feel like a mentality monster is just never quitting, ultra focus, ultra competitiveness, and just not willing to be beat, and just not laying down, and just to, keep driving and keep moving forward, no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on, just to, keep pushing. So I think that's what a mentality monster is to me and to this organization. Was there a little party on Saturday night after you took down Pittsburgh? A tiny one. Good. Tiny one. Not a big one, just a little celebration, because, you do got to celebrate the good moments, and you do got to, be happy when you succeed and when you do well. But at the end of the day, we're focused on getting that chip at the end of the season. So, the celebrations were small and quick, but, now we're back to business. So
how do y'all balance, and I've asked this a few times because y'all been so far ahead of the pack, Sam, how do you balance still getting your work, but yet staying healthy and getting ready for the playoff run?
To be honest, the coaches really handle that really well, in practice and stuff like that. We're never really overdoing it. Obviously, we're still working hard, still, being mentality monsters on and off the field, So I think the coaches are the ones that are really handling that well for us, keeping us in game shape, but also, not overdoing it, not doing too much, because, you also got to be smart and be aware that, you put your body through a lot throughout the whole. So,
We are joined on R&R in the morning, talking soccer here at SAFC, taking the USL Championship over the weekend, taking down Pittsburgh. When I look at teams, I judge them a lot. Well, certainly you look at their record and all the stuff they do with individual stats. But when I see a team that wins on the road, when you're able to take the game on the road and enforce or inflict what you want to do on a team, and we are a stout defensive team. What do you got, 15 clean sheets or 17 clean sheets? Something ridiculous. What is the mentality? How did you get to be such a great team on the road, and what makes the team so good?
Man, like we were saying before, it's that mentality, taking that mentality from our home field onto someone else's home field, and just imposing our will on them, playing the way that we want to play and not allowing them to get into their, into their zone really, so when you go and you're playing against a good team, for example, you go away, you're playing against a team like Pittsburgh where it is difficult, to get a win, just having the right mentality, having the right focus, and from the first minute of the game to the last minute of the game, imposing your will on them and, making it known that you're not going to give up, that you're not going to quit, and that it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It doesn't matter the field you're playing on. It doesn't matter the weather, that you're just going to impose your will. So I think that's the biggest thing really. So
how big of an advantage is it for you being 6'5", Sam? And 6'5", normally it's, especially you being from Houston, like 6'5".
Yeah, how
normally,
did you manage to get on a soccer field?
They try to shove a basketball in our hands, Sam. How did you end up on the pitch?
Man, I credit that to my father. My father coming from Nigeria, playing for the Nigeria national team.
Awesome.
When he was younger and, playing in Europe for some time and in Asia and all over the world, I credit him to really just instilling that love for the game inside of me, and I did play basketball when I was younger. I did both. I played basketball.
Sam, where'd you go to high school?
We're at Cypress Christian High School in Houston, Texas.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
we know Cy very well.
Yeah. So I played basketball for a little bit up until about like towards the end of middle school, and then after that, I made a decision that I want to focus on soccer solely. So then I had to put my hoop dreams to the side.
Well, your daddy handed you a smaller multicolored ball because, hey, come on, son.
You're playing for the national team. Yeah. That's a little bit different. That's a different level of, just somebody's pops that played soccer in high school. That's different. Of course, you chose soccer.
Yeah.
You're a goal-getter, Sam. But what's it like playing with Manley and Hernandez and those types? And I always like to ask the guys that like to go get buckets, like to go get the points. What is it about a scorer that separates you from others? Is it the ability or the desire to take that risk? Or is it just something that you just grew up doing because you were the guy that always got the goals? What is that mentality, and how did you bring it to SAFC?
Man, I think growing up, I played a lot of positions. I think just the love for actually putting the ball in the back of the net, for scoring goals, is what is I think the separator between, like a striker, like a midfielder or a defender. Some people have a love for defending, like Carter.
Right.
Some people just love taking the ball from other people. And then some people in the midfield love distributing, like Nicky, like Hernandez. They love giving the ball. They love giving the passes to the strikers. And then some people just love scoring goals. And I think when you love scoring goals and, and when God has blessed you with the ability to do so, I think that's what really separates, you from the other group. So,
I don't know if your buddies warned you, Sam, but we always ask everybody that comes on, you're new to the city. What's your favorite spot to go eat at? When you're not trained, of course you got when you're training.
He burns a lot of calories, man. He's 6'5", he's running.
Where do you like to go, Sam?
Okay, so in terms of restaurants, I would say in San Antonio, there's a place called Texas de Brazil.
Oh yeah.
You just keep raising that.
You're eating that rich soccer player money, man.
Yeah, you eating good, Sam. But okay.
Actually, it's owned by one of my best friends.
Oh.
And, growing up, we played soccer together on the same club team, and so I used to eat there for free all the time when we would go.
Man,
tournaments.
That's awesome.
And because his dad owned it. His dad would just take us there, take the whole team there, and we would eat there. And I ended up loving the place. So I would definitely recommend.
That's a post-game meal right there.
We love that place.
Take your club team to Fogo de Brazil. Yes, sir. Sam Adeniran joining us. The leading scorer for SAFC. They are playoff bound. They're hitting the road till Birmingham. Tell us about Birmingham.
Man, good team. Obviously looking at where they are in the standings, and they're historically a good team. They do very well. And, it's definitely not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a game like Pittsburgh where you have to go in, you have to impose your will, and you have to, you have to focus very hard. The coaches have set up a great situation before us each game. You know, they show us what we need to do, you know, through video, through training sessions and stuff like that. So it's definitely not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a game where we definitely have to buckle down and focus, because the season is not over. We have things that we want to do. We want to win all of the games that we play. We want to keep clean sheets in all of the games that we play. And Birmingham is not an easy place to go in and keep a clean sheet or win. So, you know, we're definitely going to have to be on our A game when we go out there.
Sam, we want to thank you for stopping by. And I don't know if everybody listened. This was the leading scorer talking about clean sheets. This is why this team was great. Thanks for stopping by. They're going to Birmingham. They're home in a couple of weeks. Saturday the 15th, they're coming home to finish out the season, charging into the playoffs, taking on the dreaded Orange County team. Thank you so much for stopping by, Sam. It's a genuine pleasure. Best of luck. Stay healthy. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Yes, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sam.
Sam Adeniran right here on San Antonio Sports Star. They're heading into the playoff team, and we don't get a whole lot of playoffs around here in San Antonio for a bit, so let's go support this team as they might be bringing the only title we're going to see for a bit other than in a collegiate ranks.